Hi, and welcome to Best in Tesla. So let's take a little look at Tesla's sales in the US and China, because we have, of course, all heard that Tesla didn't grow in 2024 and they are down in the US sales. So has the competition finally caught up in the US, and has Tesla been crushed in China by the competition, as so many Tesla short sellers have been telling us through the last couple of years now? Well, let's check it all out and let's dive right in. So, with the numbers we have so far, we don't have all the numbers, but here is a little look at Tesla's numbers in the US. According to Cox Automotive, Automakers sold 1.3 million BEVs in the US in 2024, making up 8% of the total market share of nearly 16,000 vehicles sold across all powertrains types. EV sales also jumped in Q4 to 356,000 vehicles, making a 12% jump year over year. Cox Automotive also expect EV deliveries to surpass 1.5 million in the US in 2025, so closing in on that 10% market share. But let's take a look at the numbers and this list of car makers that have given us the US sales numbers now, even though Tesla's numbers are of course estimates from Cox Automotive, as Tesla doesn't provide numbers for individual market sales. And don't forget, the big difference between Tesla and the other guys on this list is that Tesla's sales numbers are actually sales numbers to their customers, whereas the rest is just how many cars they have sold to their dealerships, not to customers. And as we have seen from GM and others, their inventory has done nothing but grow for multiple years, but I will get back to that in a second. But here is the list. And yes, Tesla is down, and the others are just about to catch up to Tesla, if we give them another decade or so. Even if we put all of the other guys on this list that we have so far together, they will only have sold about 425,701 units. So still a couple of 100,000 short of Tesla. So Tesla will probably end the year off just short of 50,000% market share in the BEV market. But that is not what the analysts thought just a few years ago. Just look at this chart I showed you before from EVadoption.com. So they should know what they're talking about, right, when it comes to EV adoption. But they underestimated Tesla and overestimated the legacy automakers, or maybe they just listened to GM and their 1 million BEVs in 2025, and their analyst made this list out of that information. But no matter what, Tesla sold 200,000 units more than EV adoption thought, and they had Tesla with only 27.4% EV market share in 2024 in the US. Boy, were they off the mark. Still no real competition in the US in 2024, but that is of course all going to change now in 2025, right? Because this is the year that Mary Barra, GM CEO, has said that GM would get to 1 million EVs sold. So if we look at the EV sales of 2024, well, it is growing nicely, right? But with about 10,000 units every quarter. So to get to their 1 million unit in 2025, they will have to grow about 225,000 units every quarter. Okay, to be fair, they have backtracked of that number, but they will surely beat Tesla, right? Because it was only a couple of years ago that Mary said they could absolutely beat Tesla in 2025.
Do you think that you can catch Tesla by 2025?
Absolutely, Phil.
So we should expect GM to grow about 6x in 2025. Yeah, like I said, Mary called 2023 the breakout year and 2024 the year of execution, and they grew from 40,000 units in 2022 to 114,000 units in 2024. So don't know if you would call that executing and breakout year, but I will not. So their BEV sales has grown about 74,000 over those two breakout years. But GM's inventory has grown 216,000 over the same period. So GM's inventory is growing faster than their EV sales. Like in Q3, GM sold 32,000 EVs, but their inventory went up by 46,000 units. And as you can see from Q4 2021 to Q3 2024, GM's inventory has gone from 200,000 to 627,000 units. So over a little short 3 years, GM's inventory has grown with 427,000 units. Man, if that had only been EV sales, that would have been very impressive. But maybe that is what Mary meant by catching up to Tesla, that GM will have more cars in inventory than Tesla sells in a year in the US in 2025. But no matter what, 627,000 units in inventory with an average price tag of around $50,000, that is over $30 billion in asset. Not fun being a dealer stuck with that amount of dollars worth of cars. They will probably have to heavily discount to get them off their lot and basically lose money on them. So will GM come to their rescue or just let them burn? Well, time will tell. So as you can see, 2025 really has become the year of miracles for GM. As I said before, if they should get even close to deliver on just some of all the promises they have made only a few years ago. Because Elon gets a lot of hate because of Tesla's being late on full self-driving, but Tesla is still sticking to their promises of unsupervised full self-driving during the first half of 2025. So they might be late, but they are still in the game, whereas Mary promised GM shareholders a revenue of $50 billion from their robo-taxis just 5 years ago. But GM has abandoned that completely. And they not only said that they would beat Tesla in BEVs in 2025, which we all knew was a lie when she said it, but GM also promised in 2017 that they would have 20 EV models by October 2022. But as we came close to that year, and it became clear for everyone that they were not going to happen, but they of course just made it sound like they were coming out with even bigger targets, as they wrote back in 2020. Earlier this year, we committed to launch 20 new EV models by 2023. Yes, not only earlier this year, as this was 2020, but they did say that all the way back in 2017. But today we are excited to announce we will accelerate our development timeline and now plan to launch 30 new EV models globally by 2025. So calling it accelerating things is quite the stretch, getting very close to a straight-up lie once again, as they did not even get to 20 models by 2023. Today, in 2025, they have about 10 models. So we should apparently expect 20 new EV models popping up any day now. So let's see if they can just get to their 20 models they promised by 2023 here in 2025. But I kinda doubt that as well. So no, GM will not deliver 1 million EVs in 2025. No, they will not overtake Tesla, not even close. And no, they will not get their 30 new EV models in their portfolio in 2025. And no, 2023 was not a breakout year. And no, 2024 was not the year of execution. And people are hating on Tesla for being late on things, but Tesla is a poster child compared to GM when it comes to delivering on their EV promises. So I don't really expect much more competition for Tesla in 2025 either, but we will see how it all goes. And do you remember this little dance from Elon Musk? That was 4 years ago here in January, from when Tesla launched the Model 3 in China from their Shanghai factory. And what a journey it has been, as Tesla Asia shared on X. 5 years ago today, the first Model 3 car produced at Giga Shanghai were delivered to our customers. Since then, Giga Shanghai has produced over 3 million vehicles, about 1/3 of which has been exported to market worldwide, earning widespread acclaim. Yes, this factory has become the most efficient car factory on the planet. And it still is, 4 years later, the only factory that is 100% owned by a Western car manufacturer. Everyone else had to make a joint venture with a local Chinese car manufacturer. This factory is so impressive in any way you look at it. The Chinese government allowed 100% ownership because they needed Tesla to make EVs cool. And they did, and the rest is history. And their growth has been phenomenal. Even though Before the factory was built, we heard this from all the haters.
So far, the China plant is basically an open field with some digging going on. It's harder and harder to believe that there will be Model 3s coming out of the Tesla China Gigafactory by the end of the year.
Point being, like, Tesla could announce a Chinese factory deal, tomorrow, right? And people are, and Phil LeBeau on CNBC would talk about spike the stock $30. It would be freaking meaningless. There is already millions of electric car capacity, either there now or there long before that factory can be open, and they'll just be a drop in the ocean if they don't go bankrupt first.
According to my source, we're talking 150,000 to maybe 300,000 cars. If Tesla can do that, it can probably have a big impact and keep a foothold in China. Until then, it may have to sell cars at a loss, but what Tesla doesn't have right now is a factory. So that's a problem.
And Lobo did say that if Tesla could sell 150 to 300,000 units in China, they will probably be able to have a big impact in China. So, wonder what Lopez calls it when Tesla is delivering 600 to 650,000 units a year. Asteroid impact? Anyway, Tesla is still looking very strong in China, despite so many people have been trying to convince us for the last 2 years that Tesla was doomed in China because of all the competition. With 659,000 registrations in the full year of 2024, Tesla became China's fourth-ranking premium automaker based on new vehicles registrations. So up against all the big German OEMs with their ICE cars and BEVs and hybrids in China, Tesla came in number 4. And Mercedes-Benz was still China's first-ranked premium automaker in 2024 with 714,000 registrations. After Mercedes followed BMW, which saw 696,000 registrations, and Audi, which saw 661,000 registrations, so neck and neck with Tesla in China. However, it should be noted that Tesla China's registrations are composed primarily of just 2 vehicles, the Model 3 sedan and the Model Y crossover, and of course only BEVs. But Mercedes, BMW, Audi's registration comprise of the automaker's entire lineup, from combustion-powered cars to battery electric vehicles and hybrids. But even though it's very impressive that Tesla is keeping up with the old Germans in China, well, the trend is suggesting that Tesla might climb up the ranks during 2025. Maybe not so much because Tesla's own growth, but because the Germans will fall even further. Because Tesla did actually grow in China in 2024, up about 50,000 units, but Mercedes was down 24,000 units from their 737,000 units in 2023. BMW sold about 791,000 units in 23, so down about 95,000 units, and Audi in 23 sold 729,000 units, so they are down about 69,000 units. And we have seen that Audi is trying to rebrand themselves as their BEVs are not selling very well in China. And as the Chinese continue to get more and more new energy vehicles on the road, this could potentially mean that if Tesla can keep their sales numbers, but I do actually think they can grow a bit in 2025 with the 2 new affordable models coming. So I don't think Tesla will fall in sales in China this year. But if Audi falls another 50,000 units in 2025, Tesla will beat them. And if BMW also falls about the same amount in 2025, Tesla will also beat them. Or if they don't fall as much in 2025, they will be very close with Tesla. And Mercedes could probably stay on top unless they fall even a bigger amount here in 2025. But I think we will see the German premium brands and Tesla be very close this year as well as they were in 2024. So very impressive that Tesla is basically keeping up with the old German car brands in China. That is Germany's biggest car market, and Tesla has only been there for about 4 years. But Tesla does of course not sell any hybrids or ICE cars, so when we compare them to new energy vehicles, well, the legacy automakers suddenly leave the top list completely, and we only have the Chinese and Tesla. So in the fiscal year of 2024, China's new energy vehicles was of course topped by BYD, which saw 3.5 million registrations over the year. Very, very impressive from BYD. But Tesla China ended the year off as the country's second ranking new energy vehicle makers. Also very impressive, and that is without any hybrids made, because BYD's 3.5 million is of course including hybrids, and since their BEV share globally was about 42%, I would expect something similar in China, so about 1.5 million BEVs in China is probably in the ballpark. So still the biggest by far, but comparing BYD to Tesla including hybrids are not really comparing apples to apples. But I think we can kill the whole notion that Tesla is struggling in China because of all the Chinese competition. No, they are number 2. The ones struggling is the legacy automakers. Tesla has got a better foothold in China than analysts like Lopez said they needed to have. They are a top 4 of the best-selling premium brand and will probably be even better in 2025, and they are the second best new energy vehicle maker in China after BYD. I think it's fair to say that Tesla is doing great in China and is still dominating the US BEV market as well. But let's see if any of this will change here in 2025. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.